Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another free online lesson. Okay, for today's topic, we will go and look into Naviswork project timeliner. Okay, before we start with the topic, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Hakim Hossein, and I'm the BIM specialist with Acad Systems KL. Okay, so for today's topic, it's Naviswork project timeliner. Okay, and I will tell you a little bit on the overview of this Naviswork timeliner. So the timeliner is a tool that adds schedule simulation to Autodesk Navisworks. So you can do and connect tasks in the schedule with the object in the model to create a simulation. Okay, so I believe some other software like Primavera and Microsoft projects will also have this ability. So Naviswork by Autodesk can also do this thing. So it allows you to see the effects of the schedule on the model and compare planned dates against actual dates. You can also add in costs, okay, to track it throughout the schedule, and then you can then export the simulation maybe for your presentation. Okay. So before we jump into Naviswork, so this is the overall timeliner workflow. Okay, so we have the model in Naviswork, and then we have to create set, add task in timeliner, define the duration in Gantt chart, simulation, and lastly export the simulation video. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to Naviswork. Okay, so I have this sample project open here. Okay, this project is actually brought into from Revit. Okay, so this is actually the sample project from Revit. Okay, so I believe you can also try that. In Revit, you need to have, okay, if I simplify a little bit on this model, so I don't include things like furnitures and the site, okay, to bring this into our free online lesson today. And then we go to add-ins and make sure you have this external tool, okay, and then you can export it to Naviswork. Okay, so in case that you don't have this external tool in your Revit, you can contact us and we can assist you to have it installed in your Revit. Okay, so I'll come back to Naviswork. Okay, so when I export those, so this is how it looks like in Naviswork. Okay, and then the first thing I would like to check out our selection tree, and just click on it. It will bring up the selection tree window. Okay, welcome CCW. It will bring up this selection window. So this is the NWD file that I brought in. So actually initially we brought in from Revit as a NWC, which is the cache file. And then you can, because I've exported earlier, and then I've later saved it as a NWD. Okay, so I can see it's a NWD. And then if I expand those, I can see my levels, okay, because this is brought from Revit, so I can see all the Revit levels from here. Okay. So it depends on you. If you bring it from another software, then probably the selection tree structure would be a little bit different. Okay, so on the left here, you can click on the sets on your left. Okay, if you don't find this, you can go to View, Windows, and then you can have it checked like this. Okay, so I go to Sets, and then I click on this pin just to pin it on my window here. Okay, I would also like to. Oh, sorry, I have pinned that one. Okay, selection tree. Okay. So we have these two open. So actually, I've gone ahead to create this sets. This is what we're gonna have to do. Okay, create sets first for the simulation. Okay, so I create sets in sequence where I think that this construction will start with. So most probably the foundation, and then the retaining wall, floor, and then another set of floors, and so on. But I'm going to show you how to do this. So if we go to home and then make sure this is highlighted, means it's select, you can basically click on the object on your project. Okay. So, and then you can also hold on Control to add to selection. Okay. So, for example, this foundation, want to create this first set foundation, you can either click on it, okay, and then Control, add to selection. Okay, and then you can click here to save selection. Okay, and then you can give it a name. I'll just give it example. Okay, so that is how you create those sets. But actually, there is, I'll just delete this. There is a quicker way of doing it. Like what I did was just I've gone through these layers from our selection tree. Okay, let's say on the foundation, and then I click the structure foundation here. So it depends on how you structure your layers in Revit also. Okay, so just have it in mind that you need to place your items, how you organize your things in Revit must be organized, must be well organized to facilitate you to do other things in Navisworks. Okay, so I can just click on the layer, and then as you can see, all of this foundation is selected. Okay, and then from there, I can just click here at the save selection, and then that is what I name as one foundation here. Okay, so we can just go through what I have add in our set. So foundation, retaining wall, floors, another set floor, structural column, walls, roof. Okay, I lump this together. It's one part. And then we have the skylight. Okay, I believe I accidentally moved this skylight. This should be the last thing for this project. But don't worry, we can just drag it and move it down. Okay. After the roof deck will be the first level floor, walls, roof, curtain panels, windows and doors. Okay, and then lastly the skylight. Okay, so you can just select those either individually or select from the selection tree, and then click here to save it to your selection. Okay, next we want to bring in those into the timeliner. So to get the timeliner, you can just go to the home and timeliner here. Click on it. Okay, so it will bring up the timeliner window here. Okay, so actually I did something, so but I'll just delete this first. Okay, for if you do it for the first time, this will be empty like this. Okay, and then you will see your model. You can still orbit your model like normal. Okay, and then also pin this timeliner in your window. Okay, to make it easier. All right. Next, what I want to do is to bring this set into our timeliner as task. Okay, so we are at task tab right now. Okay, what you can do is to click add task. All right, add task, and then you can give it a name. Okay, for some reason it's a little bit hard. So let's say this is one foundation. I like to have the names correspond to the set. Okay, and then you can add in the plan start and also plan end. You also have the actual start and actual end to have a comparison, okay, with your planning and the actual work. And then you also, I'll just move this a little bit. Okay, and then these are the tasks, and then you need to attach it, attach your set later, and then you can also bring in the cost. Okay, so if yours are different, it's probably from this. You can click in this button, the column button. Okay, and then there are a few options of how the column looks like. Okay, you have the standard. We're going to use the standard one. Okay, so that's how you add in, and then you need to attach the set. Okay, you can just right click, attach set, and then click at the set. Okay, that's how you do it, but I will delete this first because there is a quick way of doing it. We can just right click, auto add task, and then select for every set. Okay. In that way, it will automatically bring all of our sets into the task, into the timeliner task automatically. Okay. But then it gives you the plan start and plan end by default. So you need to adjust those if you need, because right now it gives you for every set 1 day to complete the task. So it doesn't make sense. These are basically the task window, and to the left here we have the Gantt chart. Okay, this will show the graphics as in Gantt chart to our plan start and plan end here. Okay, for this time I'll just we don't input the actual end and actual start, so it doesn't show in the Gantt chart. But if you have it, you can also have it in your Gantt chart. Okay, so I will just adjust this quickly because we have quite few sets It's going to take a while. Please bear with me. So I just roughly give each set 1 week. Okay, as you can see, as I do those changes, it will also correspond in our Gantt chart here, right? Actually, you can also do those changes using this Gantt chart. Okay, you can move it and then you can extend if you would like to extend it. Okay, so maybe for this purpose, I'll just use the Gantt chart, or maybe this is easier because we have it. I'll just set it 1 week intervals. Okay. So 29. Then you can, of course, move to the next month if you need. If you show up this calendar, you can just simply pick on those. Okay, I'll just do this randomly. So yeah, it doesn't matter. It can actually overlap. Okay, so if it overlap, it means that these two sets, these two work process is actually going simultaneously. Okay, and then to the last, installing the skylight would be at the last day, and then it probably take just 1 day. Okay, so you can adjust the timing accordingly. Okay, like I have here, some of the work are going simultaneously, right? So after doing that, you can go to we just take a quick overlook on these other tabs here. For data sources is where you add in other external project from external project. Okay, what we are doing here is actually bringing from our local Naviswork. But if you want to use this timeliner, but you have an external file, you will use this data source and edit from here. Okay, and then for the configure, okay, you can set how does it appears. Okay, actually, if you look at the task here, we have the cons here. This one is actually task. Okay, task type, and by default it gives you construct. Okay, but there is also demolish and also temporary. Okay, so you can also use those if you have some parts of it actually demolition works, or some parts of it are just temporary structures. You can set those as well. Okay. That explains these three categories. Okay. Because we use all construct for today, so the start appearance will show a green with a green look. Okay, you can click on it, you can change it. Okay, but I'll just leave it as it is. And then we would like to leave all of this by default. So basically, the end appearance will show the model appearance, the full model appearance. Okay, and at the early appearance, it will show nothing. So basically in the simulation, it shows from nothing, and then at the end, it will show the model. Okay, so we'll leave this to the default, and then lastly we go to the simulate. Delete those first. Okay, so when you go to simulate, it will be empty like this. Okay, what you need to do is, okay, I'm sorry, I'll just Control Z. I accidentally delete that. Okay, so it will correspond at the simulate. It will correspond to your task that you have set here. Okay, with the time, okay, that I've set, it will bring it to the simulation. Okay, so from here you can basically move this. So this is what we talked about for the configure just now. It will show the start appearance as a green. So as we go through, look at this Gantt chart. Okay, as we go through the time, it will show as a green. It means that it's being constructed. Okay, and then it will appear the model appearance. Okay, you can drag this, or you can just let it play. Right, just the view a little bit. Okay, so you can let it play and it will show you the simulation. So this simulation, it's good to for you track your process, because you can add in the plan and plan start and plan end, and you can compare it to the actual start and actual end. You can add in the cost. Okay, so let's look into the settings for a while. Here there are some overrides. So this will show the date of the simulation. You can either set it, this one is by default, so you can also maybe have the simulation to start earlier, okay, to show like a empty space, okay, and then the end date. Okay, and then you can choose the interval size and by either by percent or weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so for this project, I will leave it to days. Okay, and then this playback duration is 20. This is 20 seconds. So it means that the whole simulation video from start to end will be within 20 seconds. Okay, so if it's too fast, you can increase. So it will show a little bit slower. Okay, and then this text is actually the text that will appear on top here. Okay, that will appear on top to show the progress. Okay, and then the view, this animation, okay, we can select the save viewpoints animation, but currently we haven't set the animation. Okay, that will probably be in the next topic for our FOL. So if we have that animation, we can use the save viewpoint animation here, and then your simulation will move around and will orbit around your. You can set it with your animation. You can walk through your building with the simulation as well. Okay, and then at the view, because we only set at the plan, so we choose the plan. Okay, then click OK. So yeah, let's have a take a look for the last time. Okay, this is the text that we saw just now in the settings, referring to this text. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with the simulation. I can export the simulation. Okay, you can just click at this button at the far right here. Okay, and then you bring up this window. You need to select the source. Okay, we'll just use the timeline and simulation. The renderer, we leave it at viewport. Okay, and here is the important one. It's either you want it export it as a JPEG. For JPEG, it will be a series of image. Okay, for Windows AVI will be a video, which we're going to use for now. Okay, and then you can choose the size of your output. Okay, so I will use aspect ratio and then have it a little bit bigger, the width to 800 and height maybe 600. Okay, and then you have other options like FPS and others. Okay, then you can click on OK. Okay, and then it will bring up where you want to save your file. You can give it a name. For now, I'll just overwrite the existing one. Okay, and then click on save. Okay, because this is relatively a small project, so it renders quite easily. Then I'll go to a file, and then I click on it, so we can get the video of the simulation that you can use for maybe your presentation. Okay, just to get your project members updated with the current progress. Okay, so you get the video exactly 25 seconds, as you said. Okay, so you might wonder, do we have a better look for the simulation? So you actually you have the capability to export it to 3ds Max to render it more nicely. Okay, that will give a better quality simulation. Okay, if you use Naviswork, the quality wouldn't be so good, but I think to track the progress of your project, it will do the job. Okay, maybe you can also change it to, if like we go to viewpoint here, viewpoint tab, at the mode, you can change it to full render. Okay, in case that you want to have it with a render mode. But still, if you need a good graphics for this simulation, you have to export it to 3ds Max, okay, to get the simulation. Okay, I think that is all for the topic today. If you have any question, you can just type in the chat. Okay, while waiting for your questions, I will just bring you to our website. Just want to show you our website. You can go to Google and type in acadsystems.com. Okay, so from here, this is our website homepage. You can check out our latest news and promotions in case you are interested to buy software. Okay, and then if you scroll down, here we have our free online lesson. So this will be the future topics. Okay, you can, if it interests you, you can click on it, and then RSVP. So basically, you will get email notification to remind you to join the webinar. Okay. And then as you scroll down, you can also find this logo, Facebook and YouTube. Okay, you can click on it. It will bring you to our YouTube channel. Okay. You can give it a subscribe. So all of these free online lessons will be uploaded into our YouTube channel. So all this while we have done quite a lot. So we have an extensive library of various topics across various software. You can check it out and probably learn something new. Okay, we have a chat here from CCW. Can you show next time Naviswork Clash Detective? Okay, nowadays project require do clash detection before issue for construction. Okay, sure. I will keep this in mind, and maybe for the next Naviswork free online lesson, I will do the clash detection. Okay, thank you for your suggestion, CCW. All right. So if we have no further question, that will be it for today's free online lesson. Thank you for joining me today. So I hope to see you in future FOL sessions. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.